Welcome back. It's time for Books and Blogs and Restaurant of the Week, and this morning finds us at Kiza Lounge and Restaurant, incredibly exquisite place. We'll be sampling that a bit later, but for now, there's this lady whom you have to meet, financial wizard. That's the only way to describe her. So let us go meet her and have her share her wealth of knowledge. Mrs. Hicks.
Hi.
That's how I choose to refer to you today. How are you?
Very well,
so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Most welcome to our set today.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm so glad that you're our guest today. You look beautiful.
Thank you, so do you.
Yeah. Oh, you put on a jacket?
I did.
Okay, even better. But anyway, let's talk about money-wise. So this is the first time we are featuring an author who's written anything to do with finance.
Okay.
Yeah. And just having this conversation with you before we started the show, I realized that it's something that's born out of passion.
It is.
Yeah?
Yes.
So let's discuss the beginnings of when that started to, get inspired in you.
Yeah. This story begins when I was in university.
In Australia?
In Australia.
Yeah.
I was in school in Australia.
You need to say these things.
I do.
Oh, it's very important.
I was in school in Australia.
Yeah.
And at that time, my parents, we have 3 children, the others, and we're very close in age. I have a 2-year gap between me and my siblings, and they're twins. And so the pressure on my parents to take all of us to school all at the same time was real.
Actually, let me pause you there.
Yes.
I need for the people to know that her mother is the famous Mrs. Jenny Karina, the relationship guru.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you resemble your mom.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't heard that before?
I have, but people say that I look like both
Or maybe
parents.
because I don't know your dad, but
Oh,
yeah, you
probably.
look like your mom. But yeah, so yeah, that's the mom. Just so you know. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the deal was at the time that when I go to university,
Yeah.
they will pay my tuition and whatever surrounds my school needs, but my living expenses, after 6 months, I would have to cater for.
Oh.
So
Wow.
they gave me money for 6 months, and after 6 months, I would have to find a job and take care of my living expenses, my food, my rent. I think rent they were taking care of. It was
Okay.
food and other
Living expenses. Yeah.
So my challenge was that I got to this place. I hung out with friends who went out a lot, with rich kids from all over the world, and just had fun and didn't cook. And 6 months came, and I ran out of money. Now I couldn't call and say, "Oh, I've run out of money.
Yeah.
Please send me some," because we had a deal, right?
Yeah.
So I completely ran out of money. I had $3 in my account, and for a week, I spent time going around talking to my friends at the right time when I know they've cooked some nice yummy
That's
dinner.
when
I
you
lived
go
in
in.
student housing. Yeah, so I'd go into the houses, and I'd be like, "Okay, hi, how are you doing today? Have you finished your assignments?" And we'd sit down, and I'd be there for dinner. And a lot of my friends were Asians from
Okay.
Singapore and from China, and
Okay.
they're like Africans, very
Warm and hospitable.
hospitable.
Yeah.
So after a week of doing this, and I can't go another round, I decided, okay, this is now chaotic. So I couldn't eat. I didn't have money to
And
buy
your parents
food.
were serious, didn't send you money?
No, they didn't. And I felt, I guess it's also my personality. I didn't want
To ask.
to ask. And I felt, gosh, they've sacrificed so much already.
Yeah.
How do I then now call and say, I finished the money, can you send me some more? Hey, it was bad. So I didn't eat this day. I had not eaten breakfast, hadn't eaten lunch. It was now supper, and I was starving. Catherine, I was so hungry. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to sleep. So I went to the kitchen to, had a coffee, some coffee in the kitchen in a cupboard and some sugar. And I thought, okay, I can boil water, put coffee and sugar, and let's see if that will help me get some
Coffee
sleep.
for dinner. Coffee is the
for
only
dinner.
meal we had. Okay.
And anyway, so I was standing there sipping my coffee, and my eyes just sort of shifted into the bin. I don't know why. And I looked into the bin, and I saw a slightly over toasted slice of bread. Obviously, one of
That you had thrown
my
away.
housemates had thrown away. One of my housemates
Okay.
had made bread. You know how sometimes you can toast
Yeah.
it too much, and
Yeah, it's
instead
too
of
hard,
scraping
it
off,
can't-
yeah, just threw it. So I picked it up, and I ate it,
No.
and I finished it.
Okay, it
Because
was
I was
bad.
so hungry.
Yeah.
So the feeling that I got after eating that slice of bread was, I can't even put words to it, but I just felt I don't want to ever feel this way again. I felt like a chokora in the wrong place, I was brought up to do better, and surely,
Yeah.
how can I be eating from the bin?
From the bin.
Yes.
Good.
So that was my turning point with regard to a desire to want
Yes.
to manage my money better.
Better.
So I just
Wow.
started hungering and searching for information. Funny enough, I was actually studying finance. I enrolled to study finance, and marketing.
And you
so
couldn't do anything to save your financial life.
No. Anyway, so that's where it started. And I guess
Okay.
from there, I went into the finance industry later because of that hunger. I guess I just got so interested in finding out how do people make money, how do you create wealth, how do you grow what you have with the little that you have. And
So
that's where my journey began.
Point.
Yeah.
My goodness. So let's fast forward a bit to your current, I call it maybe day job, which is as an investment banker.
Yes.
Because you also have your YouTube channel.
I do.
Yes, which I find very fascinating. Whether you're so okay, you know, in front of the camera, you speak very well, very short snippets where you educate people, and I went through that. Tell us first for the name of that channel.
So the channel is Moneywise.
Moneywise,
with
after the
Rina
book.
Hicks. Yes, it's after the book. I
Yes.
guess, well, I probably should also give background where that's concerned.
Yes.
I wrote this book. It took me 2 years to write. When I finished it, I was expecting my third child.
Okay.
And by the time it was printed, I was so ready to deliver. Actually, I launched it 4 days before my baby was born. So I had a challenge. I physically could not go out and market it. And I had to figure out, how do I get people to know that there's a book, and it's a great book, sincerely,
Yes.
that I have written from my experience and
Yes.
other people's experiences that I have.
You've shared personal stories.
Exactly.
Yes.
Actually, some of the stories are so personal. I've changed my name
So you don't know
so that I disguise the situation. Yeah.
Really?
And
Oh,
hi.
Roy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you very much.
Okay, so you disguised your name to share some of these really bad stories.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, how do I get this book out there?
Yes.
I don't have time to do a launch. I'm not physically able to do a launch.
one, yeah.
Financially, there's so many commitments. I'm not able to do it right
Even
now.
your
What do I do?
child, yeah.
So I bumped into a friend who is very passionate about digital marketing and
Okay.
mentioned that I could go on YouTube
Right.
and on Facebook and just use digital media
Yes.
to
promote the book.
to promote the book. So I started to do YouTube videos. Actually, half the stories on YouTube are not even in the book. I'm like, I can write another book because I
Clearly,
get questions. And
Wow.
yes, and so I use the videos to answer questions that I'm asked by random people.
Okay.
Yeah, by friends, by things.
How long
that,
have you had the channel? Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I started in June
This
last year.
Wow.
But didn't do it for very long. I could only do it until August,
Right.
because then I had the baby in September.
Yes.
And then obviously I have to
Yes.
heal and recover, and it took me
course.
like 5 months, and started again in I think towards the end of January is when
Okay.
I resumed. Yeah.
Well, I love that channel. And I know, yes, we've gone ahead of ourselves because
okay.
the book obviously is what gave birth to the channel.
Yes.
But I love it. I mean, I'm visual. So of course I had to love something that's television-y
Yeah.
related. But let's now get to this, Moneywise, the book, Create, Grow and Preserve Wealth.
Yes.
So already you've told us that it's personal stories, your stories, and solutions therein, things
Yes.
that worked for you.
Yes. And for others as
And
well.
for others as well that you've shared in this book.
Yes.
So even before you go really far, if people wanted to get it, what's the contact?
Okay. They're at Textbook Center.
Oh, okay.
And also at Keswick Bookshop. In case they've run out, you can call the number 0707 633 433. Either call or WhatsApp.
Okay.
Now, we are delivering the book for free anywhere in Kenya.
Wow.
And it's just 1,000 shillings.
Okay.
So, you can be at the comfort of your office and
Yes,
order the
and it
book, and we'll
comes to
deliver
you.
it to you.
Right. So when they order for this book, what will they find in here?
Wow. So the book, what is different about this book is I talk about wealth creation, yes, but it's from a perspective of your purpose and your goals in life, because wealth will follow a passion and a vision and a purpose. So if you just want money for money's sake, then you'll be frustrated. You get stuck doing a job that you don't enjoy doing, start a business that you're not really passionate about, and when things get hard, you quit, and so you're in a continuous cycle.
I really like what you're saying about money follows purpose.
Yeah, it
That
does.
is so deep.
It really does. Actually, there are many people you will find. In fact, one of the guys who I met, he owns a salon, and his name is Alex. I hope it's okay for me to tell this story, Alex. Alex is an amazing, amazing human being. I met him several years ago after I cut my hair off, and I had natural hair.
That's your natural hair?
Yes, yeah.
Now see me digressing.
So Alex, he was an IT graduate, right? In a proper job, and he had a job, right? But he always visited his, I think it was his cousin who had a salon in town.
Okay.
And he just loved looking at hair, and he had these ideas of how do I do hair?
Right.
And you know, this is just great. And so he asked his cousin, please, can you help me learn? And he learned, and he became so passionate, and he quit his job to go into a salon. His dad was livid. He's like, I mean, really? I took you to school to do what? And then, you know, men.
Hair.
African men, hair, I mean, sorry. But the guy is so passionate. He actually got an African-American, one of the top African-American hairstylists who does people like Jill Scott to train him on Skype, on the phone. And today, he runs his own salon, and he cannot keep up with the number of women who are coming to look for him to help them with their natural hair.
Here in Kenya?
Yes.
Like he's based here?
Yes, here in Kenya.
Yeah.
So my point is, it doesn't matter whether you are passionate about cleaning, whether you're passionate about hair, passionate about painting, money follows purpose. And so that's where the book starts. It talks about that. It talks about how do you then save, ideas on how you can generate wealth. You could be in school, because I was in school, right?
Yes.
And I needed to figure out how do I raise money. So I've given ideas as well of if you're in school or you have another job and you feel that your money is not, the current income is not sufficient to support what it is that you want to do. Then I give ideas on how can you raise additional income to do exactly whatever it is that you desire in your life. So just that thinking of an understanding of that you shouldn't feel stuck where you are, because there's ways that you can increase your revenue and your income that is beyond what you have right now. Then we go into understanding the power of compounding and looking at the earlier that you start, the better it is for you. And I look at two individuals, I call them Mike and McKenna, a brother and a sister.
Okay.
Where Mike,
real names?
No, they're just random people. It's just to explain a concept. So I tell their story, and I tell the story of Mike, who starts when he's 19, and he decides to put 2,000 shillings away every single month. And his sister McKenna is like, I'm working, but I'm enjoying life. I'll start later. She starts when she's 14.
Whoa.
And they invest, both of them, 2,000 per month. However, Mike starts at 19, and he decides, I'm going to invest for 20 years. So he puts in 2,000 until he's 39, and then stops, decides I'm not going to withdraw my money, I will leave it there until I'm 65. And it grows at 10%, he doesn't withdraw, and let's assume there are no taxes. McKenna starts at 40, she invests continuously until she's 65. And she leaves the money there, she earns the same, 10%, does not withdraw, and no taxes. She has invested for longer, I think that's 25 years.
Yes.
He invests for 20 years. And do you know that Mike ends up with 18,100,000 shillings? McKenna ends up with 2.6 million, or roughly there. Yani, Mike makes 15.4 million more at 65 than his sister because of starting early. So I explain that math, and I explain the power of compounding, just for somebody to understand, yes, you're young, but that doesn't mean that you should just waste it. Yes, enjoy life, absolutely. I always say that you must enjoy life, but put some away, and you will just see how compounding will work for you. And I use stories of people like you and me that are relatable. Yeah.
Whoa, I hope you'll be like ready to deal with the traffic.
You think there'll be many people?
I know.
So that's
there'll
what
be many
surprised
people.
me. Like, I think everybody can manage money. In fact, I thought to myself, like, what is anything new that I'm going to tell anybody? But I realized that there's information out there, but it's not contextualized to our situation. And so that's why I wrote.
Okay, so let's go back to, I really am interested in what you said earlier, where I could be working. So let's use an example with myself.
Sure.
Okay? So I have this job that I do that earns me a certain amount every month. And should I want to, do something else? Maybe I'm passionate about fashion or hair like Alex, but I do not know where to start. So are you also like the kind of person who, does your job involve giving advice on this is how you can start by saving this much in this particular things? I call them things because I know you have a better term for that. Does it involve that as well?
Absolutely. You know, the thing about advice and consultants is asking the right questions. So if you have somebody who can ask the right questions about your situation, then you'll be guided by those questions to be able to answer them. So I will ask the right questions. So if you are passionate about design, I will ask you questions about design, like what is it that are you passionate about specifically? Is it clothing? Is it interior design. Have you done any of it? Where have you actually implemented? And so it will be good to know really where does that passion come from? What drives that passion? Have you actually tried it out? Because some people say I'm passionate about something and they really don't have a gift and they don't have the ability to do it, and yet they're passionate about it because they like what it looks like. So it'll be good to go through some of these things, and it's through actually trying out, because if you're passionate about something, you need to be practicing it, because it's only by practicing it that people will see your gift and your abilities, and then you will become sought after. But if you just sit and say I'm passionate and you don't read about it, you don't develop that craft, you don't learn more, you don't read about it more, then how can you make money out of it? You need to be able to add value.
At least be there.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've told us one or two things we can find here. Give me a third thing.
A third thing that I find is a challenge for many people is, where can I put my money? How do I invest the money, and what options exist for me? And so I break down the various options and I look at what goals do you have. You know, you have a goal for security, like I want to have money available should I face an emergency. So I give options on, for that security, what options in terms of investments are available for me out there instead of my bank account. Where I can put my money. If it's income, so you're in a situation where every so often you want an income coming through. And so I have options for you where these are investment options you would go for if you're looking for an income. If it's growth and you have time and you want to be able to grow your money as fast as you can, and then I provide options. This is what they are, and that sort of thing.
Can one start with any amount?
Absolutely. With 1,000 shillings, you can invest.
Is it?
Yes.
1,000 bob.
Just 1,000
You would know
shillings.
what to do with
Absolutely. Absolutely. The key with investing is consistency. It doesn't matter whether you have 200 shillings. I have clients who I have a particular client who had, in fact, it wasn't his shop. He worked at City Market in Nairobi. You know City Market?
Fruits, manyama, curios.
Yes, in a butchery.
Butchery,
Sorry,
yes.
He was a butcher in a butchery. And he would bring 200 shillings, 200 shillings, 300 shillings, 500 shillings to our company. And once, because I guess he'd get cash every so often. And when it would accumulate to about 5,000, and then we'd decide what stocks to buy for him. And it doesn't matter. I've had students who are 18. There was one particular student, and I've written about him in my book. He was 18 years old when he started. And unfortunately, he had faced a very difficult time because his parents had passed on. There were 4 children. He was, I think, the third in his family. And they had a dependent, a little boy who was, I think, in primary school at the time. And he was the only one who then had to look after his siblings. And so what he did was he went to help and said, I need a loan. And because of his circumstance, he was able to get a loan. But he didn't need to use all that money all at once. So he put aside some of the money, and we sat together at that time. And just because out of passion, we did a bit of research together, we talked, and we decided, why don't we put our money here? There were particular stocks that we bought. I wouldn't advise people to borrow to do this, but it was the time that we did it, because it was before, it was during a time when we knew that this stock market would boom. And do you know, this young man today has finished university, and when he finished his university, he actually sold shares that required him to get an RTGS. An RTGS is a system of sending money that is beyond 1 million shillings, because his money had grown so much, and he had actually bought an office space, all right? And he now bought the office space and is earning rental income from his office, from starting with a HELB loan and with a desire to help himself and his siblings. So it doesn't matter. The key thing is to start. Wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, you can put aside 200 bob a month. Yeah. You heard of this guy, Kibewa Mei. Did you ever hear Kibewa Mei?
Who is he?
Kibewa Mei. It was a WhatsApp video that was going around some time ago. And he was a maize vendor. I write about him in the book. The reason I remember is because I've actually written about him in the book. He's a maize vendor. He actually used to, he still does. He still does.
Today?
In Isili somewhere. He has maize and he polishes shoes. And so every morning he wakes up very early. He's by his station, I think by 4:30 or 5 a.m. polishing shoes. After he finishes polishing, he then now starts with the maize. This guy had a dream, and he was like, I really want to own a bus. And so for about 14 years, saved money every single month, joined a circle, and he managed to save 800,000 shillings and then got the balance of the loan from his circle and bought a minibus.
What?
Yes, he bought a minibus. In fact, his minibus has a karai and a maize cob on it to show where the money from
Where it started.
Yeah, where it started.
Wow.
I mean, in fact, if you can just Google him
Yes.
and watch his video,
Wamei,
it's a very
someone
short
Wamei.
clip. Kibe Wamei.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
check out his story. So you're the operations director
Yes.
at Faida Investment Bank.
I am.
What does your role entail on a day-to-day basis?
So my role entails everything operational. I call myself the KYM in the
As
company.
if.
From servicing of some high net worth clients and institutional clients to making sure that contract notes get to clients on time. We are responding to our regulator on time and handling any queries that are a bit complex on time, making sure that the employees do what they're supposed to.
Yes.
And support them in whatever
That needs to be
capacity
done.
that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Advisory as well. I am passionate about advising companies. So I do operations, but at the same time, along with operations, is I do corporate finance, where I advise institutions that are looking to raise capital for expansion, for growth. So whether that would be through equity that's coming through the stock market to raise that capital, or through debt, where we get a structured instrument,
Yes.
through debt or rather borrowing from another institution or from individuals, so
Okay.
high net worth
Yes.
individuals,
Okay.
to then raise capital for their business. So that's my day-to-day. It's actually very simple. In layman terms, I bring people who are looking for money, businesses rather, because it's not individuals, it's businesses, established businesses looking for money, and investors who are looking for good investment opportunities. I bring them together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've done this for how long?
So my job has varied over the years because obviously I came in from an entry position.
Yes.
I've been working there for about 14 years now.
Wow.
Yes,
Amazing.
14.
And you're also a mother of to 3 kids, one
Yes.
husband.
Yes.
So how do you balance all of that?
I don't know whether there's any such thing as balance. I really wonder.
You don't know if it exists.
I don't know if it exists, because sometimes I feel like I'm dropping the ball at work because I'm helping my children. I have to take the kids to the clinic, I have to do this, I have to do the other. So I think it's more an issue of making sure that I have my priorities right and delegating where I can, because I can't do everything.
Yes.
So my priorities are my children and my husband.
Yes.
And work comes second. Imagine.
Wow.
It does.
That is
it
very
just has
sober.
to. But that's just my personal choice.
Yes.
And so work comes second, but I also make sure that I don't take on more than I need to. And so I delegate a lot. And with those that I serve, I give 100%. And then my passion is what I try and combine with my work, because I have to enjoy what I'm doing. Otherwise, then
Yes.
I'd rather be home.
Yeah. So your
doing-
passion and hobby is actually your work. It's
Yes.
or vice versa.
Yeah,
That is such a
it's
blessing.
intermingled. Yeah.
How long did it take you to write this book as we wind up?
It took me 2 years to write the book.
2 years.
Yes.
Whoa.
2 years. 2 years.
Was it a publishing delay? Was it?
No, I'm actually self-published. Well,
You're self-published?
I do have a publisher, but I got
Okay.
the publisher at the end of the process. The reason it took long is because, money is a tough subject.
It is.
I second-guess myself a lot.
You do.
I did.
It doesn't appear or sound as though you
I
do.
did. Because, look at all the books about money. You have people like Dave Ramsey, you have people like Robert Kiyosaki, you have all these authors out there who have made it, or at least appear to have made it. And there's a perception when you write about money. And so I was like, how can I write about money and I don't have $150 million in my account and tell people this is how I made it? And that took me a while. So just, I'd pen things down, I'd sit on my laptop and type away, and then I'm thinking, all right, this is the journey I'm going through.
Yes.
So how can I tell others, about it? But I guess through prayer and just accepting that this is my mission in life,
Yes.
is just sharing what I'm experiencing and
Yes.
just talk through my experiences
Yes.
as I'm going through them. And so helping people learn through
your
my experiences as I'm going through them, and we learn together. And so I share my experiences, other people's experiences that I'm learning from, and I'm like, you know what, it's fine. If you can learn something from me, Catherine, why not?
Yeah. And I think that's the most powerful thing. Like, you don't need to have that 150M. Is as you walk through it, we're walking together.
Yeah.
I think that's what's even mostly organic. Like, wow, she's gone through this, so I'm okay. I'm in the right track. Because you know, she came out strong or brilliant, and look at you now. I mean, advising us how to create, grow, and preserve wealth. Yes. So, in winding up, what would your exhortation be to anyone who'd be watching who still feels or thinks that the 100 bob I have is not enough, maybe it's too late for me, maybe I'm 43 years old, but it's past already, so let me just live another 20 and die. So you have that, you know, the 19, 18-year-old and the 40, say we assume 43-year-old who need to be encouraged. And you can tell them. It's two things. I'd say it's two things. The first thing is that it's never too late. Never, ever, ever, ever too late. You can be 50 today, and God can give you an idea. You can just wake up with an idea that is amazing, revolutionary. The key thing is to be consistent, to be hardworking and determined, and not to give up. And just continually research, and every single day spend time researching, reading, committing time towards your dream. And it doesn't matter what you do, is the second thing. It doesn't matter what you do. I don't care whether you're a janitor, or whether you're a hairdresser, or whether you're a banker somewhere. By the way, it doesn't matter. You could be a janitor. I mean, I have a friend today. Yes. Hi, Alex. Shout out to you. He runs Parapet. Do you know what Parapet does? Yes, I do.
They clean.
The cleaning. Yes.
They clean. I mean, he runs a company that cleans people's homes, offices, toilets, and he's minting a heck of a lot of money. So you could start off as a janitor at Parapet and run your own business. Wow. Doing the same thing, and you will be successful. Yes. You know, you could be, it doesn't matter what you are. It's about dedication, hard work, and commitment, and consistency. The last thing I will say is that for those of you who are young, in your 20s, yes, you have your whole life ahead of you, but it is amazing where you could end up if you just start today with whatever little you have. You know, some people say, no, I don't have a job yet, but you look at the hair and it's like, whoa, where did, you know.
Cut costs.
Yes. I mean, they have amazing clothes, hair. They have allowances that they receive, whether it's from parents or from a guardian. You know, there's money, you have access to money somehow. Even 10-year-olds will have money that they have access to. So the key thing is whatever you receive, put away some of it consistently. Whether it's little, 100 shillings, or whether it's a lot, 100,000. Just keep the consistency going, and you will be amazed how much you'll be able to accumulate over time.
Can I tell you, and I said this to you before, and to show you how serious I am, I'm going to say it again now. I will be like your first, I'll be one of those who are first to run to you next week, because what? I need your help. Oh yeah, totally. And I say that, you know, and I hope me admitting that hopefully will encourage someone watching, like, I need your help. I need to know what to do with my money and do it right. And yes, you are trustworthy. There's just something about you also that it's very nurturing. Like, you come across as nurturing. And that's why I was like, even if someone brings 100 bob, you know, and whatever you advise, you know, I would trust it. Like, you're meeting that believability and credibility to me. So I will so look for you.
I look forward to that.
Like, totally. And I'll carry all my guys here. We will drag each other, say, can we go see her? But I really thank you for coming on to our show today.
You're welcome.
And I think we should have you again. Sure. Because the money, it's the first time we're discussing money. That's why you find also I'm all over the place. Like, we haven't touched on money before, and you're such a young author. You're still in your 30s. And you're doing so well for yourself as well. So running a family, running this institution, finding time to write a book. So well done to you. Congratulations. Thank you. So thanks a lot again. Yeah, money-wise, please get this book. Please repeat your contacts.
Okay, sure. So the phone number to call is 0707 633 433. You can WhatsApp the number or call. And the other way you can get in touch with me, and I am the one who gets the email, is Sema, S-E-M-A, at moneywise.co.ke. I'm also on Facebook, on Twitter, I'm on YouTube. I go by the name Rina Hicks. On Twitter, it's Rina_Hicks. On Facebook, it's Moneywise with Rina Hicks. On
YouTube,
it's Moneywise KE.
Okay,
Yeah.
listen, and all of that is running on your screen somewhere, and you'll also find it on our social media pages, KTN_Life_style, somewhere. I think it's on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. Just find it. You have no excuse now. You know what to do with your money. Find Rina. Let her help us. We all need her help, okay? Don't go too far. When we come back, we explore this exquisite place that is the Kiza Lounge and Restaurant.